Alright, so welcome back to Saxy Rod Shop YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the 66 Mustang Coupe that we've been working on. I call it kind of a survivor project. It's been in the customer's family since it was new, and as each child got drivable age, it was their high school car from what I understand. So car's been sitting for quite a while. We've done a update, Restomod based conversion on it, and we're currently here at a little rest stop at the lake here at Lake Lavon, just outside of Saxy. And so we're going to do this test drive and then talk about some of the stuff that's been done to the car and all the components that we've gone on it, installed on it, and then talk about some of the issues that we ran into as we did some of that stuff. So enjoy it, and thanks for coming back and supporting us, and we'll talk to you in a little bit. We're glad you're back with us. Hope you enjoy our videos as we do them, and we have quite a few more coming up here before long. Things have been pretty busy there at the shop, so we're going to get out here and go down the highway and do some highway miles. And like I said, we're just starting to put some drive time on it and let the fuel injection start learning its stuff. Kind of going to go back away here also. Anyway, so what we've got is a little 66 Mustang Coupe. It's been in the family virtually its whole life, and the husband and wife that owned it, the wife it was in her family, so it's been sitting for quite a while. They decided to, you know what, let's get this thing out and get it, start using it, start enjoying it. So they did that a couple times, and all original, just didn't drive safely, didn't stop safely, didn't have a lot of power. It was a 66 Mustang. Brakes weren't real good, so they came to us a while back, about a year ago, honestly, maybe a little over a year. We talked about what they were wanting to have done, and kind of came up with a game plan, a preliminary budget for them. And so one of the things that was needing to be done, of course, was the motor and transmission needed to be completely rebuilt and gone through. But they also wanted to do like a we got idiots here pulling out in front of us and blocking us. So they wanted to make it more drivable, more dependable. So they decided to go with fuel injection. So we ended up doing a 302 crate motor with the Holley Sniper fuel injection on it. Give them a right indication of what they're doing. So this car rides really nice. What is it? 2024 66, a 60-year-old car. For the application, this car rides almost as nice as the shaggin' wagon. AC's blowing cold right now. We're AC's sitting on 40 degrees of duct temperature. Coming out the duct temperature or engine temperatures. Of course, it's fuel injected, so we're running in around the 210. We're going to keep an eye on that. We have a heavy duty fan on it and whatnot, but these Mustangs they don't have a lot of radiator space. We have a Griffin Radiator in it right now. It's got I think a Maradyne heavy duty fan on it. But we're running about 210, sitting here in stop and go traffic with the AC on wide open. said that, well, if you're going to be running one of the vintage air front accessory systems on this, why don't you, they were like, why don't you send us the system and let us install it as we're building the engine, and then that way they don't have to, we wouldn't have to pull the front of the motor apart and put it back on ourselves. So they installed all that for us. We just sent them the whole system. They installed the complete system on there, and then got the engine running and dynoed with the front accessory system on it. So that was kind of nice. Saved us a lot of time. The camera's out, so he's got one on top of the car, the phone in here. Got one on the back of his truck. So we're doing that. So engine temperature, it's sitting there idling. It kind of climbed up a little bit, but it's already coming back right back down. So what we're going to have is kind of a monitor airflow. We'll have to keep an eye on that and see what's going on. We got some pretty hot weather here in Texas. I don't think some of these manufacturers realize really how bad it is when they offer you a radiator or oh, this fan will do the job, and not always. So where were we? Back at so we've done talking about the gauges, got those on here, did the wiring. So we did the classic update wiring on it. And even on those you have to do a little modification here and there. Put new windshield in it, new door glass seals and rubbers and weather strips and all that. We've done all that on it. Oh, new wheels and tires, kind of keep that stock Mustang look. This car, when we went to have the suspension and front end alignment done, our guy called us and said, hey, this I'm going to have to get back over here behind him. I can tell already. Put a, I think they're called a Can-Am bar. It goes from shock tower to shock another car in the shop, same year model, come in, and we did some measuring, and we had to pretty much quarter power some of that apart to get that Can-Am bar in there and get the car adjusted back out. And that explained a lot of why we couldn't get the hood to fit as good as we wanted initially. But I mean, work with what you have and the customer's budget. I mean, granted, if this had been a total custom type build, all of that stuff would have came out, been totally redone, and then you're talking, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars for some of that stuff. But so we're gonna put. I like to put 250, 300 plus miles on the car before we let the customers have them back. That way we've ran into all of the issues. Hopefully we've run into all the issues that might come up on them as we drive it. Any rattles or overheating problems, or any kind of oil leaks or braking issues, steering issues. We try to find all that as much as we can. And I think our outside temperature when we left the shop was already upwards of 90 degrees, and we hadn't even hit noontime yet. So doing these drives and road tests, because you never know what kind of traffic the customer's going to be in. So if it's going to overheat and have issues, I'd rather do it while we still have the car so we can resolve that, figure out what's causing it. This is a brand new motor, so right now we have looks like 70 miles on it at the max, and I think we put close to 20 of those on it this morning. The whole world's under construction, so having to deal with that. So that kind of gives us a pretty good indication in our part of the country, our part of the Dallas area. We just have such an overpopulation of area, and North Texas has been under construction since longer than I've been driving. So we're going to have the opportunity to see what this car is going to do temperature-wise in all this traffic. And we got an idiot that pulls over and cuts in front. So I guess that's working. Cheers. We're waiting on producer guy to catch up with us. We got a lot of projects coming up in the shop here. Some total builds. The Torino's in the paint shop now, working on that. Trying to do a little filler time while we're waiting on him to. Here he comes. So stay tuned for quite a few more videos coming up. We got all this traffic coming up here. I don't even know why I had my turn signals on. There's nobody behind us. And we're pulling out of a rest area. We're probably picking up a lot of the noise on that vintage air. It'll definitely move the hair on your head. So as I was saying, the car, we had the exhaust done. Front end alignment and exhaust, we had that done. We didn't do the exhaust in-house on this particular car. This was kind of for what we would call a budget build on it. So we had Muffler King over in Dallas do the front end alignment. A couple of brothers over there, Brian and Keith Witherspoon. They do an amazing job. So if you're in the Dallas area and you want a nice exhaust system at an affordable price, go see them. Brian does really excellent work on front end alignments and all that. We're gonna stay here for a little bit. Got all these people with their boats and stuff passing us. So yeah, when we do these test drives, we, like I said, I like to put 500 miles on them. That's usually long enough to break the engine in good. Got us an idiot there. Oh no, we don't need to scoot over. Break the engine in good, verify that the AC is going to work, no issues there, it's going to keep the car cool. We'll run into multiple traffic scenarios within that 500 miles. Like right now today, we've had a lot of just stop and go traffic, sitting at lights. So that'll help us get an idea what the temperature of the car is going to try to do, stay at. Oil pressure staying good. Car, it rides nice. Steering, we got stock steering wheel, turn signals are working great on it. The dash, Dakota Digital, probably one of the best out there if you're looking for that look. We're dealers for several different brands, but you can't go wrong with them. So these cars are just going to have to accept what's going on around them. This was a factory console car, so we had to modify a little bit of that for the vintage air on there, and I don't even have the AC on high, and it's blowing air. I mean, you can feel it blowing way up here by your face. So we got a couple of lights that have come on the dash, check engine light, so we'll have to check into that when we get back, and that's why we do these test drives. We'll check the tranny fluid. If he would slow down again, I could catch up to him. And this is what happens when you do this crap in an environment where can't see what's going on. Just overpopulated. There's way too many people in our area. And then the car in front of me is not driving fast enough for me to catch up with him. And he keeps speeding up. So if he would, and of course it's recording with the phone, so I can't call him and tell him to slow down. What is it? Camera's not recording now. There it goes. There we are. We're back on track. We're running what, 50 miles, 55 mile an hour, somewhere in there. So we'll get a handle on this new camera stuff, but and it does a very nice job recording, smooth, these road shots, drive shots, stuff like that. So we'll see what's going to happen here. But we're glad that you're with us, and keep supporting our channel. We're working on some new shirt designs coming out. Going to try to get some new hats other than what we've had in the past, some choices. So if you have any suggestions on what you'd like to see or shop, we're working on coming up with some how-to videos, installation stuff, brake jobs, some of that. AC installs, we got several of those going on all the time. Interior stuff. So yeah, and one of the things on this car, it wasn't just wrecked in the rear like the customer said. The whole passenger side of the car, floor pans were still buckled. It made it a challenge on even getting the CPP front suspension in, and we went with the, I think they called it it's their GT Sport package. It will lower the car some from stock ride height, so you got to be aware of that. And we've got the vacuum operated brakes, so you are going to need to make sure that your engine's creating enough vacuum if you do that. We do a lot of the Hydro Boost brakes, but this one we didn't have the room for it on this particular package, and the budget, customer's budget didn't, it just didn't fit within their budget. So we're headed back to the shop on this drive, but got my cool rays on. I think these were Oakley's, and one of the nose pieces fell off, so we're gonna have to go get that fixed. We're coming back into town now here, so traffic's coming back up here, so we're gonna pay attention to what we're doing. But we had a busy day here at the shop this morning too. We had this 58 Chevy Impala come in for new core support and radiator and maybe some floor pan work. And then right after that we had another Model A come in for some work. So here we are. So anyway, we're back at the shop, and again, I wanted to thank y'all for following us and supporting our channel. And now that Andrew's here full time, our goal is to start getting back to having at least one a week, maybe a couple a week, and then start doing some of these how-to and update videos more regular and whatnot. So anyway, if you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel and give us a like, hit that like button, and maybe even turn on your notifications so you'll know when the next one's coming out. Thank you. Have a good day.